Welcome back into another installment of the 94 podcast. I'm Brook Eddle, joined again with my co-host Jim Bushy. What's up, Jimbo?
Not much. Just working away, just trying to get through the day. But I'm still riding the high of last Sunday morning, man. I'm still riding the high. Oh my goodness!
Free bird.
Yeah.
So that was epic. What a way! A gold medal for breakfast for Team USA, taking down Canada in an epic overtime. And we could talk about the controversy of the overtime rules, the 3v3 compared to the 5-on-5 that was played throughout regulation. What a moment for Team USA, for both the men and the women. First time ever doing it in the same Winter Olympics. The men first time doing it since the Miracle Team in 1980.
Oh, yeah.
That was 46 years ago. Wow. Okay, so take me through the entire game for you, Jim. Just kind of break it down. What emotions you were, like, that roller coaster of that game.
Well, which game? You want the USA women or you want the USA men?
Both.
Because they were. I mean, to be fair, USA women was on when I was at work here, so I was able to watch some pieces. Someone has a TV like right across from me now, so I'm like, I'll sit there and I'll watch it, and every once in a while you see me just peek over, and the whole newsroom got excited. We're like, oh gosh, we're going to overtime. USA, they were the first time the women were down in the game. I think they were like 50 goals for and 1 goal against going into the gold medal game, and then give it the first goal. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to happen? And then obviously they scored, and then overtime it looks how do you say it? It looked not together, cohesive, but all messed up because they're not used to playing 3-on-3 in women's.
Discombobulated. Right.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't watched any of the PWHL, but I heard great things about it.
The Minnesota Frost. You got to come check it out when you're in town. Yeah.
Oh, I got a couple of weeks, man. We'll have a home game.
Yep. Can't wait.
But yeah, it looked all good, but the move by Hillary Knight, my goodness.
Hillary Knight, yeah.
That was, just to end the game was amazing. And then, of course, Sunday comes around, had a late night, got home at work at like 11:30, and just like, I want to get up in the morning. Really want to get up in the morning? Yeah, I'm getting up in the morning. So get up at like the crack ass of dawn at like 7 a.m. Like, okay, time for breakfast. And next thing I know, it's like we're watching the game. USA scores first goal. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're
on our way.
We're on our way. Then they take we take 2 penalties. We're 5-on-3 in the second period. And I'm like, oh no, the floodgates are going to open. And then they kill it. I'm like, oh, come on, we need another goal. Fortunately, they couldn't capitalize the momentum. It was all Canada throughout the game. They finally score to tie it up 1-1. We get to the third. Connor Hellebuck, one of the greatest performance he's had. He's been called a bust when it comes to big games. He can't get it done. He can't do any of that. But comes from the clutch, makes save after save after save. Now, don't get me wrong. Canada
had their chances. Had great chances.
Had their chances. Oh my gosh, Nathan McKinnon missing in the wide open net.
Oh my God.
It was just like, how do you miss that? But you
were in disbelief seeing that, right? Yeah.
And just like get to overtime. This save that when he put his stick back, Hellebuck.
Oh yeah.
And Dougie Hamilton in the crease stopping it, and then you get to overtime. And this looked like, okay, everyone knows what they're doing. We know what we're doing. It was all Canada, and all of a sudden it takes one mistake. We say it a lot in football, but it's in every sport. You make one mistake, it's going to cost you everything. And my goodness, they scored the goal. I jumped out of my seat and just throwing papers all over the place. I was so excited.
Jack Hughes, the hero for Team USA.
Oh, yeah.
Just at that point, it was pandemonium. I know we were texting in the morning, and that was just crazy. Like, what a way to start, and also finish the Winter Olympics for Team USA. But what a start to that Sunday, but what a finish to the Winter Olympics. Team USA also had a special moment, bringing Johnny Gaudreau's jersey with both of his children, his son and his daughter, onto the ice for the team photo. And we did cover this on the podcast, where he tragically lost his life with his brother after his sister's wedding, where they were hit by a drunk driver while they were biking home after the wedding. But that just lets you know that it is bigger than hockey. It's a brotherhood, and for Team USA, all the women that were part of that, it's a family. Team USA is a true family. It's just a special moment for the guys on the team to honor Johnny in that moment. I'm sure, in Austin Matthews, this has to be special for him, being the Captain America. And I know he's going to get booed once he gets back to Toronto. I'm sure he has been booed already. Same with Connor Hellebuyck, just being ultimate heroes for Team USA. What a way to really cap off the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. What was your favorite moment of the Olympics?
I mean, just being able to watch stuff like on my days off of work, getting up and watching everything live, watching how and what I have for TV, and I had my jailbroken stuff, but watching how the U.S. was covering things and what Canada was covering things, it's great to see all the sports. I love how every sport was able to get there, and you sit there and it makes you want to believe that for any young person, you can believe that you could be the next person there, and it just brings hope to next generations.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just need more unification globally. And it is a powerful thing that sports can do, is really bring nations together and be able to compete at this highest of levels in the Olympics. It's really cool, for the youth to be able to experience greatness on display. I think it was really cool to see someone, I think it was a figure skater, Alyssa Liu. That was really cool in regards to somebody that had retired, came back to the sport, and she did find joy back in the sport, and she was able to win Olympic gold for Team USA. And a lot of people would understand that, once you walk away, you kind of lose the joy for the sport. But I think she rediscovered it, and it's cool that that she was able to capture gold and be able to also inspire a lot of the youth out there. Sometimes you realize that giving yourself a second chance in something that you worked really hard in, and being able to succeed and knowing how much grace that she showed, because she was cheering on her rivals, the Japanese that were competing, that could have beat her for the gold medal. But I think it's really cool to kind of see that attitude, and also seeing that attitude be able to succeed at the highest level. I think that was a cool moment. Obviously, the Olympic gold for Team USA, 46 years, breaking that drought. That's super cool. And then also for the Hughes brothers, being able to have that special moment. And I know that they were honored. I think recently they went to D.C. and got honored. They got flown out, I think, at a federal jet. So that's cool for them to experience. And I think that, Team USA is getting excited because they're building off this momentum into the next Olympics. And the next Olympics will be in L.A. This will be the Summer Olympics in 2028. Yep. But before that, Jim, we got the World Cup. That's less than 3 months away. We'll see what happens coming up with that, because a lot of interesting developments before then and there. But yeah, just wanted to kind of just wrap up the Winter Olympics. I know that they do have the Special Olympics coming up, or the Paralympics coming up. So definitely be rooting for Team USA and those events coming up. But yeah, I just wanted to at least do a quick send off for the Winter Olympics, because I know the last time we talked, we were kind of hyping up Team USA versus Team Canada going into the weekend. So definitely a cool way to wrap up the Winter Olympics. And I'm sure there's going to be like national tours of all these Olympians. Same thing for the women's Olympic team. They're going on their national tour. And it's really cool for the youth to be able to experience, these Olympic gold medal champions. So, yeah. Any other thoughts that you wanted to before we move on to the next subject?
I mean, hey, you see all the increase in these sports now. I definitely believe. And I gotta give, oh gosh, what's his name? Marty Turco? No, not Turco. Oh God.
Marty Tarugo?
Tarugo.
Okay.
My God, what did he say? Oh my gosh, he had an amazing quote. Yeah.
All right. While you look that up, I think curling was like the most televised sport, because every time I turned on the TV, it was some form of curling, whether it was mixed couples, whether it was a two-man, two women, 1v1, four-man, four women. I think curling was just, everywhere. And it was really cool as well, like the big air, like, they're doing some crazy stunts on display, and then they're going for the gold. And I just really loved how they did not really hold back at all. And knowing that the dangers of the Winter Olympics, where you could end up in a full body cast, what they're doing out there. So I definitely want to give them the credit that they deserve. Jim, were you able to find the quote?
I was, and this happened at the USA Olympic Games, and it goes from Mike Tirico.
Mike Tirico.
So for all the young, Mike Tirico. So, quote, so for all the young people out there, not just the hockey, but all the Olympics you watch, those dreams are formed now. Go chase them and go get them, because our country loves sports and it brings us together unlike anything else. That was such a powerful quote that I'm literally having goosebumps all over my body just rereading it, because that is such a powerful statement right there. No, it's not political. It's not left. It's not right. It's nothing. It's, hey, follow your dreams. Anything can happen, because sports brings people together, as it should.
Love that. No, absolutely. That is a powerful message delivered by the great Mike Tirico, and well said. Well said by him, in understanding the situation, the presence of mind to know what to call out in that moment. Very cool. And I'm looking forward to just more sports and world events that bring the world together. I think that's what we need more than ever, is just unity and just bringing peace to everyone in regards to how they're able to enjoy each other's company. And I think sports does a really big part in being able to, provide that to a lot of people. I know sports is a way of a distraction. But again, there is a purpose with sports, and a lot of people, they're able to play these sports, and it really means something for their country. And I think the Olympics and the World Cup coming up, it's going to really show what it means for these players representing their nations, and how patriotic they can be. And it's really cool to really. It's really fueling the human spirit of being able to go out there and represent where you're from, and competing at the highest level. I know that we're going to do a quick pivot here. I know that the Winter Olympics are wrapped up, but there's some winter sports that are heating up, and we'll transition over to the college basketball court. our favorite team, Jim, the Yukon Huskies, are in a tight game right now. It's 66-65 against Seton Hall. About like 20 seconds left. You got it front and center?
I do not.
Okay, I thought you pointed up. Okay, all right. This is.
I mean, UConn.
Yeah, UConn. Come on now. UConn number 6 in the nation. Another game that's in progress right now. Number 5 in the nation. The Houston Cougars are demolishing the Colorado Buffs, 100-60. Maybe Deion Sanders should start coaching that team because wow, that is a demolition job by the Houston Cougars. Number 1 Duke took care of number 11 Virginia 77-51. Duke had an epic game against Michigan last week. I think Michigan was number 1 and Duke was number 3. And they had an epic battle last week. And I think Houston was in a tough matchup last week as well. Have you been paying attention a little bit to some of these college basketball games? I know that there's some controversy out there with Darren Peterson saying that he's not going to play the full time, or he's kind of putting himself on a player load management. I think it's getting crazy. I feel like the NBA and the NCAA are kind of getting meshed into a hybrid product right now, where some of these athletes that are, either declaring for the draft are getting back into the collegiate portal. Same thing with college football. We can talk about this too, and just in a general NCAA, there's a lot of these quarterbacks. I know Trinidad Chambliss for Ole Miss, he was suing the NCAA for that extended stay or another year of eligibility to stay in college. But yeah, I don't know, Jim, have you been kind of just keeping an eye on some of these games? In 18 seconds left in the UConn game.
I try to. I try to keep an eye on it, and it's just if mostly when I'm off, it's been hard for the past couple weeks because the Olympics are on and everything. And when I walk, when these goes on, I'm either working or I'm with my girlfriend. I'm doing stuff. So I've heard some stuff, but I haven't done much. I haven't gone. I heard about the controversy, and if you have to sue to play in the NCAA another year, you're not going. You're not go. You might not. Your chances of going pro are not high. If I have to sit here and put in hey, I want to play another year. You're not letting me play. Fine, I'll sue. It just that speaking mentality, just gets to me. But I mean, that's what college sports are now. How much can I maximize my time? But it is what it is. I'm just how?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. The entire structure of college football and college basketball, I think there's so many blurred lines. It's very sus in regards to when are you going to be a professional and when are you going to be a collegiate athlete? Because now it's a blurred line where we don't know when these athletes have completely committed to becoming a professional and joining one of these major 4 sports. The top story right now that on this topic is Alabama Crimson Tide center Charles Bediako. His college career is effectively over for the second time after Alabama Supreme Court on Friday denied his request to play while he appeals his case. Earlier this week, Bediako's attorneys asked the Tuscaloosa's County Circuit Court and the Alabama Supreme Court for interim injunction relief, while he appeals a local judge's ruling that denied his request for a preliminary injunction to play college basketball for the remainder of the season. So this is in flight. Yeah.
Isn't the guy who went to the G League and came back?
Yes, Bediako had played in the G League and had signed multiple NBA contracts before a different local judge gave him a temporary restraining order to return to college basketball in January. So this is just at the top of the year. And the request to allow Bediako to play for the rest of the season pending his appeal, Bediako's lawyers argued that his case is unlikely to resolve before the season concludes. So that timeline was unclear, and it was not established. So the appellate process through the Alabama Supreme Court system can take months to finish. And if his lawyers pursue a decision from a federal court, it could take even longer, Jim.
This is actually a huge story without realizing how huge it is. Because I want to ask you, what do you think this story means? Like, what do you think?
I mean, it means everything. At that point, then it's like athletes are able to hit the restart button on their career. And it's like, if I don't get a favorable team, let's say like, you didn't land with the team that you're looking to land with, and you get, let's say you get ousted, you don't make the lineup, you're in the G League, or you're forced to play in the Euro leagues, or you're playing overseas, either in China or in Serbia or anywhere that's outside of the U.S. or in the NBA, then that gives a lot of these players that leverage that at any point they can be like, hey, I want another second shot at this, where I can get back into college. I can be able to use my name, image, and likeness for an extended period of time, and also be able to find another team that will, invest in my talents. For me, I feel like it's like once you go down that road, I think it is a sense to me that, you've made the choice to enter the NBA, and I don't think that your eligibility should be, granted at that point. I think, but this case is monumental in being able to really define that, because Bediako, if he wins this case or he's able to overturn the ruling, which it's unlikely because it looks like his case was denied, but I think like cases that are going to come forward after this, I think it's going to be interesting to see what it will make of these players that are looking to get that refresh or that restart. But I think it does hurt college basketball. It hurts the NBA as well, because you're not getting players that are ready, or you're not getting players that are fully committed to any team at any certain point.
I agree. This also means like you have now taken, we could argue this with NIL, but you have now taken the amateur out of college sports. This president would be, like you said, people, and it's not like, oh, I don't like the team. It's like, oh, I went pro, don't like it, or a high schooler. College is different than everyone else,
right?
But
amateur athlete. Yeah,
this will change every sport. For example, baseball. Kids get drafted out of high school, they go straight to the pro. So they go minor leagues, they go to single, triple, they don't make it up, and they're making payments. Then they go back to school. Typically, you lost your ability to get money to play. You lose your status. If my thing it comes to my head. You lose your eligibility to play. But if he's able to do that, that's going to change everything in every sport. Now kids could go pro. They can retire at 20, go to college, or they can retire at 30, go to college, play their sport, make more money, and then possibly make more. So you've taken the eligibility aspect of it out of the way if he is allowed to play. So this is what I see in my mind, how big it is, how it can impact college sports.
Absolutely right, because Bediako's attorneys argued that even though the 2023 NBA draft entrant had signed a two-way deal, so he had signed a two-way deal with the San Antonio Spurs and multiple Exhibit 10 contracts, so that moves that disqualified him from competing in college again. According to NCAA rules, other G League players, European pros, and names James Nagy, the 31st pick in 2023 NBA draft, had similar cases and were granted full eligibility to play during the 2025-2026 season, but those players hadn't played college basketball, making Bediako's situation unique. So this season he has played for the University of Alabama. He has averaged 10 points for Alabama, which he has finished 3-2 in the 5 games that he's played, and he was a standout with the team from 2021 to 2023. During the 2022 and 2023, he was a defensive star for the Alabama squad that had the number 3 defense in the college basketball. So this kid can play. Is the fact that he's able to hit the refresh button, I think it also hurts other college athletes. I think that's not being discussed here, because I think when there's scholarships that are being put out there, I feel like this is not fair to that freshman at University of Alabama that's looking to break through and actually get a spot on the team. A player is getting left off scholarship, or they're not able to, or they're forced into a redshirt season. I know that this really muddies the waters in regards to how the G League plays a part in regards to the eligibility, but I think it does really muddy the water for all young athletes, and I think there should be a clear a clear status in regards to you sign a professional contract. I feel like you've declared, like, again, that was what I understand is like once you declare for the NBA draft, it's like you're giving up your eligibility at that point. I don't understand how he's able to countersue and get back into the fold in regards to actually playing in college basketball once again. But yeah, this will be an interesting story to see, and then also the fallout and the aftermath of it. I think the update was UConn just won 71-67, defeating Seton Hall. Shout out to Alex Karaband with 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. It looks like Staten McCray had 20 points for Seton Hall. But big win for our UConn Huskies as they get ready for March, which is a day away. A day away, Jim.
It's the most. I should have thought. It's the most wonderful time. It is, because just football's done. Ice hockey, basketball, they're in the final stretch. Baseball, spring training has started. March Madness, people are looking forward to this. A month full of high-risk games, mean everything. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. We're about 2 weeks away from Selection Sunday, and we got the next week plus with basically conference championships coming up as the regular season is winding down this week. There's some games that are in current active play right now. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Florida State leading by 12, 72-60. We also got NC State and Notre Dame in a tight game, 81-79. NC State with a 2-point edge over Notre Dame. Missouri and Mississippi State, SEC battle. Missouri is up 54-23 on Mississippi State. Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is ranked. Kentucky's unranked. Kentucky's leading 21-14. And then we mentioned Houston and Colorado. That game has gone final 102-62. You got the Golden Gophers. They are 13-15, so unlikely that they will be in the NCAA tournament. They take on UCLA, who is more likely going to be tournament bound at 19-9. That is a tip off at 1:00. But I know that there's a lot of challenges for these teams, but first we got to take a look at a couple of these teams that we know that are going to be having deep runs, like the Kansas Jayhawks and the Arizona Wildcats. That's an epic matchup that's going to be going on later today as well. Two blue bloods in Kansas and Arizona. What do you really expect in regards to UConn's opportunities to make a deep run in this tournament?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you dropped out for a second, and I was like, okay, yeah, now I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. My AirPod is. I had to change my AirPod out.
No, you're good.
Go again.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on UConn and their opportunity to get back into the Final Four and compete? I know the defending champs, the Florida Gators, are number 1 in the SEC. They're number 7 overall. They're coming out of a tough SEC. We did talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide with Bediako and his case that's ongoing with the Alabama Crimson Tide. They're 17th overall. The Arkansas Razorbacks are 20 with Jim Calaberry, and you also got the Tennessee Volunteers at 22, and then we just talked about the Vanderbilt Commodores at 25. So they're coming out of a tough conference there. I'm looking at the Big Ten as well. The Big Ten's got some really good teams. Gonzaga is a team to also keep an eye on. I'm just kind of looking at like the entire Miami, Ohio is another dark horse. We also got the Big Ten. I think is the cream of the crop right now. You got the Michigan Wolverines, number 3 overall. You got Nebraska with the Fighting Fred Hoibergs. And you got the Michigan State Spartans with Tom Izzo. I mean, March is the month of Izzo. And then you got the Fighting Illini at number 10. And then you got the Purdue Boilermakers at 8.
It's going to be fun. I mean, anything can happen. I really hope UConn can make it again. I enjoy it. It's going to be fun. That's all I can say. It's going to be fun. I hope UConn make it. I know there's a lot of good teams coming in again this year, the Boilermakers, you said. But it's just going to be one of those things where, like, anything's possible. I don't think there's a team this year that's, like, you're going to sit down and be like, this team is going to win it all. I just don't see that. So it's up in the air for anyone.
Absolutely. I know Dan Hurley is looking at the field, and I know that he's going to have fun at the entire way. I believe because he is one of the most intense coaches, and I think this is a great test for UConn to go up against an Arizona, a Kansas, an Iowa State, and Iowa State's number 4 right now, a Houston Cougars team that was oh so close to a national championship in San Antonio last year against the Florida Gators, and then also the Texas Tech Raiders. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Also, BYU. BYU is becoming more of a powerhouse in sports in general, Jim. Like, you hear BYU in football, and now you hear BYU in basketball, and I think they're getting all of these athletes. And I think AJ DeBonce, he's going to be projected as potentially the number 1 lottery pick. And I know the Utah Jazz are trying their best to land the local kid to join the Utah Jazz and at least bring some relevance back to the Utah Jazz since the late 90s and early 2000s. But yeah, this is going to be an extraordinary field that UConn will have to face. And you got the number 1 Duke Blue Devils in Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia did lose earlier today against Duke, and then you got number 18 North Carolina, and then you got Louisville. So again, you got the regular, you got the usual suspects, and you got mid majors in teams that are going to be in the mix, like St. Louis Billikens. Those are just going to be like the staples of the tournament. And I think these teams are going to be really cool to watch them as these for all these conferences, the American East, the American Conference, the Sun Conference, the Atlantic 10. I know the ACC is going to be well covered. More likely, I would guess that Duke is probably going to win that conference championship. Big 12, I'm probably going to go with this one's going to be a pick 'em, but I would lean heavy. I would probably go. I'll probably go Houston. I think Houston might win this conference. Just an early prediction for that one. And the Big East, I got to go with UConn. I think UConn has shown earlier this week when Dan Hurley was talking about, hey, we don't want to let ourselves down, and he was saying this in a beatdown against St. John's. So I'm very confident in UConn coming out of the Big East and winning at the Mecca, the Madison Square Garden. And I think the Big Sky, that's another mid-major. But, again, these teams that could definitely make some noise, like the Portland State Vikings, Montana State Bobcats. There's teams out there like I know Weber State Wildcats. These are the teams that, that are bracket busters, that are laying the weeds, that we know that, come late March, mid-March, some of these teams are going to be, one of those Cinderella stories. It could be Montana State Bobcats. It could either be the Eastern Washington Eagles, High Point Panthers, Winthrop Eagles, and we get to the Big Ten. And Big Ten, I think this is Michigan's year to win the Big Ten Conference in the upcoming tournament. I would love to see the Gophers be a little bit more competitive. I know that they've won a couple games. I know they did beat Michigan State at home, but Minnesota has a very long shot to get into this tournament. Going up against the top 15 really in their own conference. Dealing with Michigan, Nebraska, Michigan State, Illinois, and Purdue on the upswing, and you also have tournament hopefuls with the Wisconsin Badgers, the UCLA Bruins, and I think at the end it would be the Iowa Hawkeyes, where I think they would need to win a significant amount or have a deep Big Ten run to be considered as a bubble team. But as we shift into bracketology, and before we switch gears here, a lot of teams that we're looking at, like the top overall seed, we're expecting Duke to be the number one overall seed. The last team in, again, we're talking about Indiana being one of the last teams in. And then that's in the Big Ten. I think that does help them that they're in such a strong conference. One of the first teams out that we do expect is California in the ACC. You'll notice that, the SEC does represent, each of the last four top seeds, plus the first team among the last four in. What could be a nightmare brewing for the selection committee with proper bracketing procedures as they relate to separations of teams within conferences could get thrown out the window, Jim, or multiple teams could be removed off their natural seed line, which the community has been correctly reluctant to do in recent years. It would also be a nightmare scenario for the programs whose coaches are already sick of the SEC grind. The five teams in question, Georgia, Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas, and Auburn, are not likely to remain in such perfect order, but the extremely close nature of their resumes suggests that one or more could play their way out of the field given the head-to-head possibilities down the stretch or even in the SEC tournament. So some things to definitely like pay attention to as we get a little bit closer to Selection Sunday.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be crazy to see what's going on. But you know what? I said this back in, October, December. I love chaos when it comes to this. I love seeing all the teams sitting there waiting to see if they get in. You get all the press base when they don't get in. You get all the shocks. Everyone goes cheering. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun to watch. And I think the committee's going to have a tough time. And it's just, what do you want me to say, man? It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to predict. Brooke, you know when the brackets come out, we're doing it. Yep. We're doing a bracketology thing.
We're doing bracketology. Yeah, we're doing bracketology, competition. Okay, so just real quick, just before we shift gears and, we can talk a little bit of NBA, NHL, whatever you want to get into. I know that MLS is starting. The Minnesota Loons are starting in 20-degree weather and potentially some snow flurries in the Twin Cities. So that's kind of cool that, they're playing football in football weather. But real quick, before we shift gears into our next topic, on the bubble, the on bubble is like the teams that could potentially make it into the tournament. We did talk about Georgia, Missouri, Texas A&M, and Texas. So that's four out of the five that we mentioned in the SEC. The last four in is Auburn, TCU, Santa Clara, and Indiana. And we did discuss Indiana as potentially being one of the last teams to get into the tournament officially. The first four, so this could definitely change, granted how the tournament week goes and how the rest of the action plays out. California, New Mexico, Ohio State, and USC. So the Big Ten has 2 out of the last 4 out, so that does represent well for the Big Ten. The next 4 out, we're looking at VCU. VCU has been, consistent in regards to making the tournament, but here we see them as one of the first 4 out, or the next 4 out. Virginia Tech, Seton Hall, that was just, took on UConn and lost, and then Cincinnati as being one of the next 4 out. But yeah, we'll continue to see. Right now, we're projecting SEC as the top team, Big Ten right behind SEC, Big 12, Big East, West Coast, and then Mountain West. But again, this will be something that we'll definitely keep a close eye on. And as we shift gears here, we're taking a look at spring training. Spring training just started.
Spring training's here. Yeah, man. And you know what comes with spring training, Brooke?
What comes with spring training?
The World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic, WBC. There you go, World Baseball Classic.
I don't like all these major. I think this is good. It's great for the sport of baseball. I mean, like you have countries going against each other. It's about pride. It's about everything. So much fun. I think that like last year they saw an increase in viewership because of it. I think this year they'll show another increase as well, just because it's a huge competition. You have Shohei, Trout. You have all these big name players playing against each other for their country. Teammates become rivals. As the commercials say, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun to watch.
Oh, it's going to be epic. I mean, Japan just held. This is crazy. Just to think about the stardom of Shohei Ohtani. They just did a batting practice for Shohei Ohtani. It was sold out, Jim. Just batting practice. Not even a game. Batting practice.
Oh yeah, it's wild what everything is.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's going to be insane in regards to what's coming up for the World Baseball Classic. It's going to be epic. I think what Shohei is definitely going to be one of the stars for the entire tournament. It's going to be really cool to see all of these players fully healthy playing. Like I think that's the cool part about the World Baseball Classic. It happens in a period of time before the season starts, so there's no stop or start. So I definitely have to commend you know the entire committee for the World Baseball Classic. Any word on where the World Baseball Classic will be?
Where or when?
Where?
So there's four locations. There's Miami at Lone Depot Park, in Houston at Daikin Park, and Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome, and in Puerto Rico at the Hiram Blythorn Stadium. Butchered both those national ones, and it's going to go through the starting on 5th, where national teams takes on spring training teams, and then it ends on March 17th.
Okay.
And then I think the winner.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last game is at Lone Depot for the championship.
Okay,
I think.
to
I could be
Miami,
wrong.
Lone Depot. Okay.
Or Houston.
Or Houston, Daikin Field. Okay.
Nice to see in Tokyo.
Oh, the Daikin Field is in Tokyo.
I would like to see it in Tokyo. Cause,
that would be cool. Yeah, if it was in Tokyo, that'd be epic.
Oh yeah.
Because right now, as we get ready for the World Baseball Classic to get ready, you can watch these national teams take on these professional MLB teams. You got Team Columbia versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's coming up on Tuesday, March 3rd. Netherlands going up against the Baltimore Orioles. You got Panama against the New York Yankees. I know, Jim, you'll be a big Panama fan on Tuesday. You got Team Canada going against Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, this is a civil war. What's going on with Canada? Like, who do you root for if you're Canadian in this game? But I digress.
I would say you root for Team Canada because I think those major league teams are playing like they're like B teams.
They're B teams, right?
Or those who are not making the teams, but still, it's like crazy. It's like, and then like they have Max Scherzer. They just re-signed Max Scherzer for 1 year, $3 million. Yeah.
Mad Max is back. That's awesome for the game. You also have Israel going to Miami. I think that is going to be an interesting matchup. You got Nicaragua against the New York Mets. You got Brazil going up against the Athletics, not Oakland, not Las Vegas, just Athletics. And you got Cuba going up against the Kansas City Royals, and Italy going up against my Chicago Cubs. So it'll definitely get some pasta and watch that one.
Definitely.
Right. And then this one is programmed. This is scheduled. TV time. Team USA against the San Francisco Giants. So go Team USA. That will be I think 2:00 Central Standard Time. That'll be at Scottsdale Stadium in Scottsdale, Arizona. Okay. You got Great Britain against the Milwaukee Brewers. You got Mexico going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. You got Detroit at the Dominican Republic. So this game will actually be in the Dominican Republic. So that will be on the network. It's going to be at the Estadio Quesaque Juan Marshall in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. So that will be a cool game to check out. We got Team Puerto Rico taking on the Boston Red Sox. That will be in Fort Myers, Florida. And you got Team Venezuela taking on the Houston Astros. And most of these games are going to be either the Grapefruit League in Arizona or in Florida for a lot of these MLB team home sites for a lot of their spring training. So a cool flavor to definitely take, make sure to, check out some of this spring training action next week. It's definitely going to ramp up as you get closer to the actual World Baseball Classic. I'm taking a look at some of these teams, like Team Canada. You got some of these stars that are on Team Canada. You got okay, let me see who is on Team Canada. I see James Talion, I think from the Cubs. I think he was an All-Star, and you got Matt Davidson, Adam Hall. You got some of these young players. You got Josh Naylor. I think he's a sibling.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that's really cool in regards to some of these teams that are going to be represented for team. I'm just pulling up the full website here. Team USA. Who do we got there? We got Matthew Boyd. I know I'm like naming off all the Cubs players here, but Clayton Kershaw. Is Clayton Kershaw going to be part of Team USA?
Is he retired? Oh, he retired from the MLB. I mean, he could still pitch.
He could still pitch, right. So Clayton Kershaw could be someone to pay attention to. Joe Ryan locally for the Minnesota Twins. Paul Skeens, All-Star with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tariq Skubal. Ooh, that's gonna be dangerous. That's gonna be really good. Got a great
pitching rotation is just damage. It's just
Logan
damage.
Webb. Wow, Michael Wacha. Like Michael Wacha is getting up there in age, but that's still like a great rotation to have. You got Garrett Whitlock from the Boston Red Sox. You're looking at the big dumper in Cal Ray as the catcher, and then you got Will Smith. Well, that's an all-star. That's an all-star lineup right there. You got Bryce Harper. We're not even getting to the infielders and potential. Alex Bregman just recently signed with the Chicago Cubs. You got Gunnar Henderson, one of the young stars. Bobby Witt Jr., another young star from the Kansas City Royals. Yeah. Ernie Clement, that just was featured in the World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays. You got Byron Buxton locally for the Minnesota Twins. You got Pete Crow Armstrong, Aaron Judge. You got to root for him, Jim. Got to root for him.
Unfortunately, but you know what? The second he takes that pinstripe off, he puts the USA jersey on, I'll root for him. The second he takes that USA jersey off and puts the pinstripes on, or anyone who puts the pinstripes on, I'm going to hate.
Okay.
The Yankees damn suck. F the damn Yankees.
And then we'll close here. We got Roman Anthony, Kyle Schwarber. That's a special weapon right there. And the managers are going to be Mark DeRosa, Michael Young, Freddie Gonzalez, Brian McCann. So some of these players are very familiar, or like that used to be players that are now coaches. Sean Casey, Matt Holliday, Andy Pettit, George Lombard, Dino Eddle, and David Ross, 2016 World Series champion with the Chicago Cubs. So that's really cool to kind of just see Team USA and what they're going to be all about for the World Baseball Classic. That's cool. Houston, Miami, Tokyo, just cool sites for the game of baseball for this to really take off and launch. I know with spring training underway, definitely want to look at some of the day one starters. I think Willie Peralta just got named day one starter for the New York Mets as they'll take on the Pittsburgh Pirates to start the season. The Dodgers don't expect Snell to be ready for the opener. The Giants scratch Rafael Devers from lineup. And then also, there's
that trade was
what's up?
That trade really did not work for either team. My goodness.
Oh yeah, that was
trade.
Everybody thought that was going to be a blockbuster trade. That went down
for San Francisco. Yeah, to help them get the playoffs, and the Red Sox. Who knows what they're doing? Mind you, Greg Lowe, I still hate you. You did Yeah, you signed pitching. Yeah, you addressed the need, but you screwed up in the infield. Yeah, you got Kenneth, whatever, the guy with the 2 last names. I can't say it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm blanking. But, like you wanted a big star, and you couldn't do it. Like, you lost Pete Alonso to the damn Baltimore Orioles, our divisional rivals. You should have came to the Red Sox.
You're just not really happy with what's going on with your Boston Red Sox.
Roughly should. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of good young prospects, but you can't rely on prospects the whole time.
Are you talking?
We want to go.
Yeah. Were you talking about Isaiah before we get off onto the next topic? Were you talking about Isaiah Kiner Falfala?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is a bench bat? We have too many outfielders right now. We have because Duran is the trade bait, but like he's great to stay in the lineup. Abreu,
he's only 29 too. He's young.
Yeah, he's very young. So why get rid of? I think I'm Joey, one of our sports. You know Joey.
Yeah, I know Joey.
One of our supporters. You're speaking like Yoshida's the odd guy out, but like he has to put up the numbers to trade him because he's not really that good. The number they're paying for him,
Was he a big strikeout? Yoshida was a big strikeout for the Boston Red Sox.
He was a big contact hitter.
Okay.
Like he won't get you the power, so he's not really a good DH.
Sure.
But
They got him listed as a left fielder or as an outfielder.
Yeah, he's a left fielder, but like he's been injured. He's done nothing, and just like he doesn't fit in the mold right now.
Gotcha. Do you think he'll start in AAA to start the season?
No, he'll be on the bench.
He'll be on the bench. Okay, so Alex Cora will just have him for late innings or any kind of pinch hitting, situations. But Roman Anthony, do you think they need to start building around him as one of your young stars?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Like I think Byron Buxton would be a perfect fit for the Boston Red Sox. And I know that he wants to end his career as a Minnesota Twin, but as just like David Ortiz, I want to see Byron Buxton play meaningful baseball. And if it's not, in Minnesota, I think Boston is a good spot for him because I think he would be able to cover a lot of space in the outfield, and I think he would definitely bring some pop in a favorable ballpark in Fenway Park.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's interesting to kind of just get your what you're thinking about your Red Sox going into the season.
We'll see about your Cubs. I mean,
yeah.
Last year they made it past wild card. They made it to the division. No.
Yeah, they made it the divisional round. They got eliminated by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think they need to do to get to the next level?
Okay, to get to the next level, I think need to get more runs. I think that offense needs a little bit more run support for the pitching staff because I feel like the bullpen does a good job, but I think that you also got to score runs in a long season. I think being able to also improve the offensive, because I did see a lot of games where the Cubs would lose 3-2, or they would have a really good outing by a pitcher, but you're not supporting, and you're losing these close games, and also striking out a lot. I think that's another thing, and just being able to find good contact hitters. And I really want to see them replace Kyle Tucker because I know Kyle Tucker went and signed with the LA Dodgers. I would like to.
You got Alex Bregman now.
Yeah, we got Alex Bregman. I like him. He's a great all-star third baseman that
should have stayed the Red Sox, but that's another.
Right, that's another conversation. I mean, we do we do welcome him with open arms because he's definitely going to be a great addition to the Cubs roster. And just looking at the entire Cubs roster and seeing what we got. We got Alex Bregman, as you mentioned. You got Nico Horner, Gold Glove. You got Matt Shaw, Darby Swanson. I think we definitely need to add some more pop in regards to our outfielders. And I know Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, they do a great job, but we definitely need big years from Justin Dean. We need big years from Kevin Alcantara to really push the Cubs to the point where they're able to win the NL Central and really compete deep into October. Also the bullpen. I would like to see them really go after a closer or a strong setup. I really was pushing for Duran last year from the Minnesota Twins, but I know he went to the Philadelphia Phillies. But if you can get somebody, but I'm really excited about getting Justin Steele back. I know that was a huge miss for us last year, where he went down with an injury early in the season. I think he didn't even make it to May. I think he got injured in late April. I think also for the Cubs, I think getting another strong arm, because I think you need somebody that can kind of also connect the pitching all the way to the close. I think you need a couple more middle guys, because some of the bullpen woes of last year, for that to continue, I think that would be an issue that needs to be established right away at the beginning of the year, because I don't think the Cubs are going to make a deep run if we don't figure out the bullpen, because once we hand it off to the bullpen, we should expect them to get us to the finish line. And in so many cases, there was blown leads or unable to keep runners off the base paths. So I'm looking for the Cubs before the trade line or up to the trade line to add more offense, and then also shore up that bullpen, because I think that's what's going to keep the Cubs going, and in the hopes of making a World Series appearance in the 10-year anniversary after winning the World Series back in 2016.
I mean, that's spot on. I mean, yeah, there's a few games I watched that they did need a lot of bullpen help. I mean, hey, anything the problem? Like, some of the moves I saw, did they not re-sign someone? Say Soyuka, one of the pitchers.
What are you talking about? Seiya Suzuki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they let him go or not sign him?
No, he's still on the team. No,
Okay.
They still have control of him. Yeah.
Then something else. But yeah, no, I think adding Bregman's definitely going to help. I think the bullpen is a big key for them.
That was huge. A 5-year deal with Bregman. Yep.
Yeah. But still, like, it's going to be huge. I think there's a big boost in their offense. Now you just got to, I think pitching, that's the problem though with pitching, is like the teams that have the pitching are asking, or good pitching is
it's a premium, right? It's a premium right now.
It's a premium, and the teams that have it, they want to trade. They want like a buttload back. So like even trying to get one, and teams are smarting up now. They're signing these players to long-term deals just so they can hold them for a while. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough year. Hopefully the Cubs do good though. It's gonna be fun. NL Central, let's see them. I wonder if they can take on the Brewers again.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Brewers. They need help.
Right, the rivals up north and the Brewers. That's a good rivalry. I really do enjoy the rivalry with the Brewers.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun time. Maybe come back to Green Bay. We'll take a trip down to Milwaukee, catch a Cubs Brewers game.
I welcome that.
Catch a couple.
Yeah.
Or hell, we can even go to Chicago to catch a game. I'm down.
Absolutely. Let's check out a 1:20 Friday baseball game. I think that'd be really cool. the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. I think that'd be really a really good time, Jim, to check that out. I'm
You know what we
definitely
should
up for
do? You know what we should do?
What?
We should try to plan it where it's a home game for the Cubs and a home game for the White Sox. 2-1.
Ooh, okay. I'm with that. So like it could be like a Cub day game, and then it could be like a White Sox night game. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. It's like a doubleheader in the same city. It's a crosstown doubleheader.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Oh, yeah. I think there's only 2 other places besides Chicago where you can actually do it. So
Right. I mean, yeah, like you would have to either be in New York or if you
LA.
want or LA, right? That would be the Freeway series, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to definitely get healthy because I know with Justin Steele, he's got the elbow. The last note right now on the Cubs before we can move on to another topic. Justin Steele's got the elbow and has been throwing a 30-pitch bullpen session. Is targeting return to majors in May or June. So that'll be interesting to see how he's able to get implemented into the pitching rotation because I think that is going to be key to really how far the Cubs will go. And I know with the overall rotation, I think it's going to land really heavily on seeing what we can get out of the starting pitchers. I know it will be heavy on Matthew Boyd to start the season, and I think Shada Iminyaga, he needs to bounce back. He needs to get out of his head because I know he's kind of gotten a little home run happy, but I think he needs to just get back to his rookie campaign where he was a stud for the Cubs. But I'll just close there, and I just hope that any injuries that are going on in spring training, hope everybody's able to get back healthy because I know there's players that are competing in the World Baseball Classic. They're deciding to stay in camp and focus on rehab instead of playing for their team in the World Baseball Classic. So yeah, you hate to see early injuries, but it is part of the game. But yeah.
Oh my God! The one person who I was so upset, who I really like as a player.
Yes.
He's on the Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll. I love the guy. Like, he's great in fantasy, but he has such a sweet swing. I like him so much. I wish he get more respect that he deserves.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. He definitely. Yeah, he's an unsung hero in regards to a lot of baseball fans. Yeah, definitely. You said Corbin with the Arizona Diamondbacks, right, Calvin?
Yes.
Okay.
He's out with like a wrist injury that's takes him out for a couple months.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have to go. Honestly, I might have to go start collecting one of his cards because it's kind of stray, but same thing. Like, someone gets injured, their card prices drop, and when they make the return, they skyrocket. So like, I'm
right
tempted
back
to just
you want to buy
like,
the low, buy the low.
Buy low, sell high.
I got you. Okay. Well, let's shift real quick. I know that this is the longest ever in 94 podcast history. We're going to talk about the NFL to close here. We got 8 minutes here before the top of the hour. The NFL. I know that there was a funny story that did come out with I think it was Fernando Mendoza. There was a team that had it was not an official visit, but they asked him, "Are you willing to get arrested so potentially you could get a slide in the draft?"
Oh my!
He didn't name the team, but it's just like, oh my God, these GMs, they just get they get in front of these players and they just say anything. I feel like.
Oh my God! Like, are you that desperate? Like, what?
Right.
That sounds like a Cleveland Brown thing to say. Like, honestly, that sounds like a Cleveland Brown.
Cleveland
incident
Brown.
Where it's just like, yes.
It's like, hey, can you help us out? Throw us a bone.
Yes.
We got great fans. I mean, hey. But Mendoza, he put any kind of like any of those thoughts to bed, or any doubt of him staying legal up until the draft to bed, when he said he would love the Raiders Brady as a mentor. So that's almost kind of like the tea leaves of just like, we know that he's going to be number one. And even these New York Jets fans are already outpouring and saying, we would have loved to see you as a Jet. And, what's the guy going to say? He's just like, we'll see what happens. I mean, like, he doesn't control who takes him or, what happens draft night. But yeah, that's just a wacky story. One of the most wacky stories to come out of the NFL Combine. I know Mendoza will not be thrown, but I know that there was a lot of players that did take part in the NFL Combine. And I know that it will be really cool to just see all the top performances and prospects from day two, because I was working out in the gym and just watching a little bit of the combine, and like these guys are fast. Like I feel like for example, Eli Stowers just set a vertical jump that sets the tight end record at 45 and a half inches. For the vertical jump. So he could be somebody that could get, targeted. You got Kenyon Sadiq. He sets the record for tight ends with a 4.39 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. So this is a big day for the NFL Combine, and it's the tight ends at the NFL Combine being, measured right now. There is a huge look at the draft order for number one. What a lot of people are thinking for the picks. Let's just look at the top five real quick. The top five before we wrap up here. Raiders, we agree in consensus that it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Number two, the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn has had a rough week because at the NFL Combine they caught him sleeping, and like he had the worst reaction because like they panned the camera over to him and he freaks out. It was like, dude, if he played it cool, they were just saying, there's Aaron Glenn looking on at all these rookies working out, and he just freaked out. And I feel like someone must have blew up his phone, like, dude, wake up, you're on TV, wake up. But they more likely they won't get a quarterback at number two because there's going to be all these great players that are going to be there, like Caleb Downs. You got Bain. You got I think Ohio State. I think Ravel. So like there's so many stud. Sonny Styles, I believe, right? Sonny Styles. I think he's projected there. You got the Arizona Cardinals. They need a quarterback, but we don't know what's going to happen there. The Tennessee Titans, they need a dynamic playmaker. They're more likely they're going to get one of these studs that are going to be available as the top player. And then the New York Giants, again, they could end up with another person to add to the New York Giants defense, or Jeremiah Love. That's been reported too from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Just imagine that Jeremiah Love and Cam Scatterbo in the same backfield. That would be sick nasty.
Oh, 100% would be. Like, oof. Just, you would have to split them both times just to get them enough reps each, or trade one. Like, do you trade? I hate to say it. Do you trade Scatterbo for high? Well, no, because Scatterbo won't be back to like mid-season because of his injury, right?
Right. Yeah, he's still on the mend. Yeah.
So you can have Love and play him for the year, and then come next offseason trade one of them for like draft picks and stuff.
Right. Like the top draft picks that we're looking at right now is like either David Bailey, Reuben Bain Jr., Arvell Reese of Ohio State, Caleb Downs, again another Ohio State. So Ohio State just had a plethora of talent on the Ohio State defense. If you're looking for offensive tackle, we're potentially looking at Francis Moaga. We did just talk about Jeremiah Love. He would be just a weapon with the New York Giants. And then also Carnell Tate. I think Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio, and Jermad McCoy. Those are just like some of the talents that we're projecting in like the top 5. But it's going to be exciting as it winds down. It gets closer to the draft in Pittsburgh. What are your before we sign off here in the 94 podcast, what is the likelihood that you would be open to a road trip to Pittsburgh?
I would put it at a 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
Because only reason why I say because is because in June I'm moving out of my apartment.
Okay.
So I'm debating about when I need to use my PTO. Plus 2 weeks. I think this is going to look a little different. This podcast is going to be a little different in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a little different in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
2 weeks.
We could tease that in 2 weeks. We can tease that for 2 weeks. But this was a joy to talk sports with you again, Jim. You take care.
Will.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure to like and follow and subscribe and on all platforms. We're on TikTok now, so make sure to check us out on TikTok, the 94 podcast. But until next time, we'll see you at the TOP. And we're out.